Always fun to do Chew on This with three of the better people I can find. Scott Wilson, Will Castle, Kyle Hoehne. We talked some baseball talk as Miguel Cabrera has won the Triple Crown. Hardware to yet be determined, though, with playoff teams, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Cy Young, and more. We break that all down, plus talk a little bit about the firing of Bobby Valentine and more. It's Chew on This on the Sports Buffet podcast. Viewer discretion is advised. Chew on This, we add a person to the normal trio of Scott Wilson and Will Castle. Kyle Hoehne's no stranger, though. He's only strange. He joins us here. Come on. Get a little drum.
It's the worst round.
I know. I had a left-handed.
So it would have been better with your right hand?
It would have, actually. It would have been better if I'd used two. Anyway.
That's what she said.
Major League Baseball talk. Kyle, I'll let you lead off since this is one of your passions. A topic that I thought about. Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown. I think it's being underrated by people. Your thoughts?
Well, Joe Public doesn't care about baseball, so that's probably one of the reasons why it's underrated. ESPN put it on the bottom line next to some NFL injury report, probably.
Tebow?
Tebow.
Next to Tim Tebow's lunch order today.
Yeah, he had one punt return for 2 yards or something. I saw that on the bottom line, one Jets game. Yeah, he's probably not getting enough love. Pretty big accomplishment.
Doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't happen every day. Hadn't happened in a long time.
45 years. Scott, is it underrated in terms of media coverage?
I think so, yeah. I mean, anytime something doesn't happen in 45 years. And baseball is all stats-based. I mean, you worship stats and then you break the record. And go on.
Agreed. Wow, so this topic wasn't even worth it.
Well, I mean,
it's
one of those. It is unfair, especially the fact that it seems like ESPN's not, talking about it anymore because they are an NFL or NFL. It's unfair. I mean, because it's 45. Hadn't been done in 45 years.
And there's no. Like Scott said, baseball is a stat-driven game. There's nothing in the NFL that if so and so broke a stat or broke a record, it equals a Triple Crown. If you get what I'm saying. I mean, I don't. No one knows how many yards Emmitt Smith has. You're the Cowboys fan. I bet you don't even know.
It's like 18,000 something, I believe.
I mean, everybody. Now, I'll be honest. I don't know how many home runs Barry Bonds has, but I know Hank Aaron had 755. I know 56 game hitting streak.
Who's Barry 772 or something like that?
Yeah, he got in the 770s.
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera probably took steroids too. I'm surprised Barry Bonds didn't win a Triple Crown, especially when he was getting walked so much. Your average has got to be pretty high.
But the
only time he didn't get walked was when he hit a home run.
But the RBI goes away because you're getting walked all the time.
Very true. Unless it's Buck Showalter and he walked him with the bases loaded.
It's
one.
Bobby Valentine, he can get in the line for the soup kitchen now after being fired by the Boston Red Sox. Deservedly so?
I think so. I mean, his team was a disaster. What I wonder about is they traded away all their good players because they were having problems with Valentine, and then they got rid of Valentine. So you go to the Dodgers and say, can we have Adrian back?
They're going to say, I don't think so.
Do you think ESPN will take him back?
I think Bobby Valentine can still manage, just not in Boston. I think Bobby V would be a guy that could do well in Florida.
Or go
back to Japan.
Back to Japan.
Right. That brushed up on it.
He didn't communicate well enough with Daisuke, apparently, on the last night.
Apparently not.
But I think he could manage somewhere like Miami. Or either I just don't think, and I don't know why he didn't work in Boston. I just think, when Bobby V was managing the Mets and everything in the late 90s, game has changed a little bit in terms of the egos, I believe. But
may I make a suggestion?
You may, absolutely.
All right, now, how long was Francona the manager there?
6 or 7 years?
At least.
Okay.
At least, yeah.
Now, how many of that group was still there when Valentine took over? 80%? A good chunk?
You mean from the beginning?
From the heyday, from
the World Series?
The first World Series, not many. David Ortiz.
That might be about it.
But there are some remnants.
There was
absolutely.
Okay, all right. I've always said this, about when you deal with, you get a new face into a group that is used to certain things, there's resistance upon that. And if it's not successful immediately, there's going to be even more resentment.
Right, but I think the thing was with Terry Francona's last year in Boston, I think he got unfairly blamed, but I think, with all the drinking and everything in the clubhouse and everything like that, I think people felt he lost control of the team. I don't think Bobby Valentine was the first choice of general manager Ben Cherington. I think he was a total ownership choice. I think Bobby V can manage. Now they supposedly want John Farrell back. I'll tell you somebody I think that could work in Boston, and I don't think it would ever happen, and I hope it would never happen. Joe Torre.
I don't think he's going to give up that cushy gig.
No, but but a type of guy like that, I think that's
What
more.
is he doing now?
He's in the front office, right?
Yeah,
For
for
MLB.
Major League Baseball. Yeah, he's in charge of the
After the failed
umpires
bid
and all
for
that
the Dodgers
stuff.
didn't go through.
When you get thrown out, you got to go see Joe.
Yeah.
And explain yourself. He's like the assistant principal, I think.
Have there been any managers of both Boston and the Yankees?
That's a trivia question.
I want to say there has been, actually. I think there's been one, but I'd have to get back to you on that one. I'd have to get back to you. I mean, I just think that, but Boston doesn't really, now they don't have as many veterans
No.
as they once did. I mean, the vets are, somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
I mean, we had heard at one point maybe a Jason Varitek,
Yeah.
but I don't.
As a manager?
Yes. Thoughts from the gallery? Questions, concerns? As a Red Sox fan, I'd be concerned.
ESPN had Brad Ausmus, too, as a potential candidate to replace him.
Who else do they have?
Oh, a bunch of people. Ryan Sandberg,
John Farrell?
all those guys that are the assistant coaches now. I think he was on there.
Yeah. Supposedly that's who they want, but they'd have to give Toronto some compensation
Yeah.
for it.
Bobby V won't be coaching Major League Baseball for at least 10 more years.
Well, then
Wow.
He'd be no longer with
yeah,
us.
he's going to be like Davey Johnson, who
He
took a long break.
Because he was with such a high-profile team and it was a complete and utter disaster. He has been given the entire blame for it. I don't see a club saying, "We'll take a shot with you." I don't see it. Just the fact, no.
Red Sox worst record since 1965.
Maybe he can put on the disguise again and come back and disguise himself as a real baseball manager.
That might work.
That was funny when he did that.
Yeah.
Playoff predictions. We have the wild card, which starts on Friday. 2 games, since there are 2 leagues, 2 wild cards, 2 games. AL, Texas and Baltimore. Who you got?
I like Baltimore.
Do you
I
really?
think they're going to keep rolling. Yeah, I think Texas.
Gotta go on the road, though.
Texas didn't look like they had a lot of fight in them against the A's the other day. I like Baltimore, but it's baseball.
Orioles don't travel well.
Texas could win 10-0 probably.
Yeah,
And
Orioles don't travel well. These
well,
days.
the Rangers don't they? Haven't they just bashed the Orioles all year? That's who Hamilton hit his 4 against.
Yeah.
And Beltre had 3. But I'm no. We're doing everything I can to justify the other position.
Right.
I'm staying with you.
They're due, is what you're saying.
Right,
At this
exactly. Yeah.
Kyle convinced me to pick Texas.
point. Good job, Kyle. You at least
At
convinced
least I
somebody
can
of
do it.
something.
Texas.
Yes, I will. I will go with the Rangers as well.
It's just one of those things when the Orioles have been perennial losers for so long. They're like, we got here. I don't think they'll know what the hell it is.
As a Yankees fan, who are you more worried about playing?
I worry about everybody right now because I don't think the Yankees are that. Even though they have home field, I think the Yankees could easily go out in round 1 to Baltimore or Texas. I mean, I'd rather probably honestly play Baltimore, but I think they could. I think they could either lose to either team. Atlanta and St. Louis is the National League game. I believe it's at the TED.
Yes.
Down there in Atlanta. Braves starting Medlin. Cardinals starting Wainwright.
Think so.
Okay.
I would have guessed Kyle Loesch, but
Well, maybe Kyle Loesch.
I thought maybe the rotation didn't match up before.
Well, how do you play the wild card game if you're managing it? I mean, do you treat it as a game 7?
I think so. 1-game season. Don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know because then it's not like you can empty the bullpen per se because don't you have to turn around and play?
You play 2 days later.
Yeah, so
Sunday.
you can't.
Well, Ron Washington brought Holland in the middle of that A's game, so he was treating that game like it was game 7.
Well, apparently the
That
rest of the
worked
team wasn't.
Yeah.
Medlin only 1 loss. He's probably one of the hottest pitchers without a doubt.
I have the numbers 10-1, 1.57 ERA this year.
Not too shabby.
That's impressive.
Not too shabby.
Well, they won 21 straight starts with him.
Yeah.
Still on the wild card?
Yes.
Okay.
We bloviated while you took a personal call. The Braves and the Cardinals is the game we're speaking of.
Go Braves.
So you're picking the Braves.
Pure sentimental. I don't like the Braves. I like Chipper Jones.
I'd like to see Larry do pretty well here in his last hurrah. I'm going to go Braves. And plus, the Cardinals ended the Braves run
Last year.
And the Braves are one of those teams that they find ways to win at home because they're at home.
They didn't last year. In a game that could have put them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Braves.
I'm gonna go Braves.
Ditto.
All right, then that sends us into the divisional round. Home field by Scott Wilson's Washington Nationals. So they would then host the Braves in a 3 out of 5. How are they doing the...
Yeah, does that not change because they're in the same...
No.
No.
You can,
Good.
same divisions can play now.
How are they...
Yeah.
Is it 2-1?
2-3.
2-3. Okay.
Yes.
I don't like that, but
No, I like the old way.
they didn't ask me, so anyway. Braves and Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see the series shaping up?
I think it could easily go to the Braves, but I'll pick the Nationals. The Nationals destroyed the Braves for 2/3 of the year, and then the last series they got swept.
2-3? Which, I mean, so...
They're starting on the road, and then
that's not really home
That's what they
field
used to do.
But that's not really home field advantage at all because, it's sometimes very hard to win 3 games in a row. And
Well, let me take you back in the time machine real quick to 1995 when the wild card started. The Yankees were up 2-0 on the Seattle Mariners after winning the first 2 at home and then dropped the next 3. So, I get your point, and I do understand, and I don't like it either. I don't understand why they just don't go 2-2-1 like they have been doing. I like the Braves in this one. I'm rooting against the Nationals. Well, I'm rooting against the Nationals solely for the fact that I think they're screwing their team and screwing their fans.
You want the Strasburg game to blow up in the face, don't you?
I do. I absolutely do. 100%. And, I'm going with Chipper Jones and the sentimental, emotional send-off. They're not going to win the World Series. I don't know. They could. I mean, how many teams we got in here?
10.
I think all of them have a chance. I mean, you could honestly...
Yeah, I agree.
I could make a case for every team why they're going to win the World Series, but I like the Braves over the Nationals. I don't know why else. And I think this is pitting a lot of fans that used to be Braves fans. They're now Nats fans, right?
Agreed. I think it's going to be tough.
On everything?
Yes, 100%. I think it's going to be tough to win that wild card and then go on and win the World Series.
How long of a...
Unless you get in a game where you don't have to use the bullpen or your other starters, like you don't have to bring Tim Hudson in Friday night or something like that.
So if you're the Braves, let's have them beat the Cardinals just for this argument here. When does Medlin start again?
Depends on how many pitches he throws.
Do you run him the whole time? Save the
I think if he's working, I don't think there'd be a reason to take him out.
Game 3, I would think.
Right.
In terms of strategy, do you ride the starter if you can?
Yeah, unless you get up real big, unless you're up like 9-0
But
or
even
something.
then, why waste the pin?
Well, but those bullpen guys are used to throwing one inning a
At that
night.
point, you take your 5th starter and you put him.
There you go.
You pitch him.
Long, yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Did you make a pick in this one, Nationals Braves?
Sentimental Braves.
Okay, so everybody has Braves but Scott.
Oh no, I'm going to go Nationals.
Okay. Well, you said I agree. I didn't know what you were agreeing on.
Something
You
else.
can't read everything.
That will pit the Reds and the Giants in the other series.
Reds have home field on that one.
Yes. Name one hitter on the Giants team besides Buster Posey.
Angel Pagan.
Not many people can do that, though. Kyle Hoehne, you're
He's pretty good though.
abnormality.
On the Giants?
Yes. Giants, I mean...
Oh, I know someone. His last name's Romo. Why couldn't that Romo play like Dallas's Romo and piss it away? I'm still pissed.
We'll get to that.
We'll be getting to that
yes.
later.
Stay tuned for the NFL episode of this
Kung Fu
podcast.
Panda, Pablo Sandoval. Everybody knows him.
I think the Reds win this series.
I like the Reds too. Giants got great pitching though. Even Barry
So
Zito.
the Reds have good
again.
pitching, too.
It's true.
The Reds haven't really done that well in the playoffs as of late.
Yeah. But back when they were doing bad, I don't think they were... The teams they were playing, I think, were just a boatload better than them.
Yeah, they played the Phillies when they got no hit by Halladay.
So you're going Reds.
Yeah. I'll go Giants to be different.
Okay.
3-1 odds.
That will bring us to the American League. We'll start with the Yankees against the Orioles/Rangers.
Then we all say Rangers.
What he said, Baltimore.
Oh, when did you change your mind?
He didn't change it.
That was my
He made the
first pick.
case.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees could lose to either one of them, but I think they could beat either one of them. I just don't.
That's going out on
Isn't
that.
it though? Isn't it though? I just don't know about this Yankees team. I see too many. I'm going to abstain.
I'm going to go Yankees. You got everybody
You
healthy
let me
again.
abstain from the other one.
Get your own podcast and you can abstain.
Oh, great. I'll take the Yankees.
Yeah, Yankees.
Any reasoning for you people? I mean, just
I
maybe
got
The
everybody
wild card puts you at a disadvantage.
Texas just finds a way to screw it up. They find a way to screw it up. They just here's your World Series. I'm gonna take a poo on it now.
A's and Tigers in the other half. Now, I will go first on this one. I think this is obviously a revenge factor for Brandon Edge. I think he's still bitter towards
If
the
he
Tigers.
makes the postseason roster,
I
don't think he's going to.
Here's the thing about the A's. The A's have been so hot. And the Rockies were so hot a few years ago, rode it to World Series, and then 4 games later, they're out.
Do you think you're saying you think this might be Billy Bean's year?
The A's go out right now.
Billy Bean said his
the
stuff
run
doesn't
ends.
work in the playoffs.
The run ends now. Tigers win this thing in 3.
Yeah, I think Tigers are good. Great
I
pitching
think Tigers
staff.
are real good.
I think they're.
I don't think they're as good as they were last year, but I still think they're good.
I don't know.
Is Doug Fister having the same type of year as he did last year?
No, but they didn't have Prince
That was
Fielder
the
last
X
year.
factor.
They got Fister and Scherzer and Verlander. How many more pitchers do you need in a playoff series?
Maybe one in the
Maybe one on
LCS.
the back end. Maybe. Well, there you go.
I'm going Tigers, though, in this one. I'm going Tigers. Sweeping. Get out the brooms.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Sweet.
Tigers.
I
Maybe
like-
not a sweep.
I like Oakland. The hot team.
I just made a case for why the hot team goes out, though. So,
Yeah, but you said the Rockies. They lost in the World Series.
well,
Sure, they lose in the
Yeah.
first round.
yeah, I think Oakland. I don't know. Name me one person on Oakland's team, please.
Brandon.
Scott
Okay.
can do it.
Who do you like in this series?
I don't know either.
Does Josh
very
Willingham
well.
still play for them?
No,
I'm Oakland. I'm not seeing them.
nor does Jose Canseco or Mark McGuire.
Doug Barton.
Who?
Pitcher.
I can confirm
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he was a real person or not. I had to look to Kyle. All right, let's just skip ahead to the World Series. Who you got win this thing?
Wow, that's.
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, I'm going to do the old Bob Alvis. I could see all 10 teams winning, and I could see all 10 teams not winning. I'm going to go Detroit. It's not easy. I mean, they will encounter some resistance, but
Bobby Valentine managing Tigers next year when Jim Lee.
that's why you might be managing them this year somehow.
All right,
You
well,
never know in sports.
I'll get the other people's World Series predictions first. I'm going to go with the.
You're looking at overall records or
No,
something?
I'm thinking. I'm going to go Tigers too.
Oh wow.
I don't know why. I don't like the Yankees to do it, and I don't like the Rangers/Orioles, and I don't like the A's, and I don't like anybody in the National League. Tigers by default,
Well said.
isn't it though?
It almost seems
Tigers over the Braves.
it always has to be like who I think. If it's Yankees Braves, I think Yankees. Just because Braves will screw it up somehow.
If it's Yankees, anybody, I think the Yankees can beat any of the National League teams. I just don't think they can beat the American League teams.
The Tigers haven't been
We
cold
could just
lately
get a hat.
either.
I mean, we could just get a
that,
hat and
right.
put all the teams' names in there and pull.
That's true. Billy Martin did that with his lineup.
Sure, I'm gonna
one
go
time.
A's.
So he probably didn't he manage all 10 of these teams
I think
at some
they-
point in his career?
I think when he did that, they won, and then he went back to conventional
Went back
lineup,
to the
and
regular
they lost.
Right.
You missed his prediction while you guys are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I went A's.
A's, okay.
Wow, I like that.
I'm taking the Yankees.
Have you,
Hoping for the jinx.
have you been right on World Series predictions lately?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I was hoping we could have some history.
Well, why don't you go back to the archives and the podcast?
Might have to do that. No internet, remember?
No.
Let's go.
You at work? That's all you're on is the internet.
I know. Well, I'll get it. I'll get to it tomorrow. Let's go over the playoff or the post-season awards. We're going to skip Rookie of the Year just because I don't know as many of the rookies, and I think Mike Trout obviously has the Rookie of the Year in the American League sewn up. National League Rookie of the Year. Any thoughts?
You just said we were going to skip it.
Well, I know. I just said any thoughts though.
I hope that Bryce wins.
Kyle Hoehne.
He's probably going to win.
Okay. There's our Rookie of the Year talk. If you were tuning in to hear that,
He's pretty trendy.
If you got up and left the room, you missed him.
Cy Young Award, American League. Kyle Hoehne.
That's tough. Can we get a short list going on first?
I have a list of
You
4
get a short
that I wrote
list?
down.
Okay.
Felix Hernandez, Justin Verlander, Jared Weaver, and David Price, the 4 best.
It's interesting that all the guys that threw no-hitters and perfect games, they all suck after they do it. I don't know if anybody noticed that. And some of them are never the same.
I think Felix was
Dallas
less sucky.
Braden.
Has he even made a start since he threw?
Yeah.
Has Dallas Braden even made a start since he threw his perfect
No, I
game?
think I saw somewhere he's only made like 3 starts.
He's been
since
out like
then or
2
something
years.
that. Yeah, he's been out for a while. I'm going to go David Price. I think he's got the numbers to support it. I mean, he doesn't have a perfect game or a no-hitter to his credit, but that's not everything.
That was my pick too. He's 20-5 with a 2.56. He had the best ERA. I know the sentimental choice is Felix, but he doesn't have the numbers to me.
Should we even ask?
I don't know the American League at all, so no, don't.
That's why I prefaced it.
Jared, you got Bob.
Jared Weaver. Don't know why. Less than 200 strikeouts, which kind of impressed me. Not in an impressive way. But anyway. American League MVP.
Miguel Cabrera.
Seconded.
Third.
You win a Triple Crown.
Yeah.
Bob put 2 fingers on it.
Yeah. I mean,
The only way he wouldn't have if they did not make the playoffs, but they did. So you can't pull and he wasn't the most the year-long talk of what MVP actually means. So you can back it up with like they made the playoffs.
well, I just give it to him because he won the Triple Crown. I mean, even if he didn't make the playoffs, that's still. But I don't think he's maybe the most valuable player. I think he's the best player. But I almost think Mike Trout is the most valuable player, and maybe even Derek Jeter, because I think the Yankees would really have been in big trouble had he gone down for any length of time. Second oldest person to lead the league in hits.
That's impressive. Who's the oldest?
Paul Molitor.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So I was wrong when I guessed Rod Carew.
You were.
Does it surprise anyone that 333 was the highest batting average in the American League?
Yes.
I don't know. It's kind of become a pitcher's league.
What was the highest in the National League?
I don't know.
Buster Posey hit like 340 something, and Melky Cabrera hit like 340 something. 50 less games, right?
National League MVP.
Buster Posey.
I'm going to go Ryan Braun.
See, I think Ryan Braun loses votes
Because
just based on the performance-enhancing thing from a few years ago, or the cloud at least.
Last year.
Yes.
Who makes up the committee to vote? Is it just writers?
Writers. Yeah. I'm going to go Yadier Molina. Put up the offensive numbers. You didn't even write him down, did you? To put up the
other
offensive...
name I wrote down was Andrew McCutcheon, who we haven't written.
To put up the offensive numbers Molina did at the catcher hole, I mean, he had like...
Catcher hole?
Yeah, catcher hole. Those numbers are very... I want to say he had like 22 home runs, 86, 96
I mean,
ribbies.
he's always so good defensively.
And I mean, the Cardinals, they're in it right now. And, after losing Big Al, I don't know that a lot of people thought they'd be in this thing. And MVP.
I forgot.
Okay. We'll get to you in a little bit.
You want to vote for Buster?
We're going to get to you for that Ryder Cup talk because I know you have big thoughts on that. Cy Young, NL.
I do have to pick for that one.
A lot of choices.
Let's start with Will. He hadn't talked in a while.
Dickey.
How come?
Second in wins, only one behind.
Gio.
Gio, second in ERA. I believe second, or no, most amount of pitches. His whip was second. I mean, it's everything else was across. It's like
A lot of strikeouts.
Yeah, Gio had more wins, but his ERA, I think he was 6th or 7th in ERA. The number of pitches was less. Kershaw, yes, had a much better ERA, but I go Dickey.
First man to win 20 primarily with the knuckleball since the late Joe Negro. Who else do you have written down on the list?
Gio, Dickey, Johnny Cueto. And I wrote Medlin down. I know he can't win, but I just think his numbers are ridiculous.
Why can't he win?
Well, I mean, I guess he could. I mean, he only played like half this season.
Yeah. There's no rule that says you can't. I like Cueto. I think he was a rock for the Reds. And they won a lot of the games he pitched in and didn't lose a lot of the other ones. All those other guys are good, though. It's tough.
They're just tough.
I'm gonna go Dickey because I think his story will tug
Yeah,
the
but
heartstrings.
wait a minute. Well, that's true. I mean, the writers do think about that kind of stuff. Plus, they said he pitched with like a torn ab muscle or something all year, or a
Yeah.
broken
That was a
rib.
knuckleball.
Yeah.
Do you really need the rib for that one?
That was good. He throws the hard knuckleball though, which hadn't really been done before.
I went Dickey, if only for the fact that you won 20 games pitching for the Mets.
Wow, you didn't go Gio.
No, I think
you
Dickey
non-homer,
Dickey
you.
should get it.
Now here's another question. We didn't talk about this.
Statistically, the only Gio beat him in was wins.
He had more strikeouts, didn't he?
Yeah.
Gio though less.
I don't know.
First guy to win over 20 with less than 200 innings since I don't know when. There's some stat. I go to the ESPN stat.
He should still be on the A's too. Think about how good they
Yeah.
do then.
Or would they?
Well, that's good point. Never know. Start mixing it up in the
The A's
clubhouse.
didn't have a
Dodgers.
starter with more than 13 wins. I looked at.
Yeah, I don't think they have anybody hitting over 300 either. That's why the A's are such a great story. How are
See,
they winning?
Moneyball 2. Come
I
to
said
over
they
to
yesterday.
you. Here's the thing about the Nationals. Did they tempt fate by having Teddy win the race?
I called that a long time ago, by the way.
It
I
had
said
leaked
when
out.
they- when
It had
they-
leaked out. I think.
Well, no, I always said when they clinch the playoffs, they'll have Teddy win. But I guess they missed that opportunity because somebody lost, and that's why they clinched. So they decided to do it here on the last day of the season.
And what did I tell you when he said that yesterday? As soon as he won the race, first guy up for Nats hit a home run.
Doesn't matter. Curse of Teddy.
I think that's
Or
who
the
he.
reverse curse of Teddy.